Right, good morning. Tuesday, New York session. How's everyone doing? Let me know, as per usual, what you want me to look through specifically. And we've got uh, CPI coming up for Canada. And apart from that, we are pretty clear, good to go um, for the rest of the day. Some minor data on from the US. So let's just look at this CAD then, with respect to there being 13 minutes before the data. As you can see, we've had this sell-off. The bigger picture is on a weekly basis, we're coming in hard into that bullish run, noting that it was a W formation. Pretty sure we flagged this in prior meetings, and this was expected. So we're coming in towards the neckline support area. So chasing the short might not be the most sensible thing to be doing, considering the support that we could be coming into the demand area. So just measuring the rally, that support area, if we actually pull it up to here, ties up with a 50% mean reversion target, 133.93. That's not to say that this is necessarily going to offer demand. This could quite easily continue lower. I just prefer to have sold up here. On a daily basis, we broke structure over here. This is the Canadian dollar for those just joining. All right, so we broke structure. So we are technically now on a bearish trend. So we've broken that bullish cycle. So we're now on the backside of that old bullish cycle. All right, so there are prospects of a downside continuation. We're coming in to test the lows of this candle here. Could be a demand area there. Could be support. It's a pretty strong move. I wouldn't want to get in the way of it so far. So nevertheless, this is sure to, well, not sure to be. It's likely to be a demand area. We've got these highs over here as well. So the tip of that W formation's nose. So just be wary if you're looking to continue selling this, or if you're holding shorts. Might be a profit-taking area because everyone else is seeing the same thing. Okay, so bear that in mind. In that respect, what we could be looking for is a deceleration of this move. So if we see any signs of deceleration, it could be an opportunity for today to go long and counter trend the move. So in that respect, we can look at the lower time frames and just monitor this for deceleration and accumulation for a move up. It might be premature to be looking for it today, but you never know. So monitoring that for deceleration in this area. So as I said, we've got data coming up now in 9 minutes. Right, so just moving along, we'll come back to that shortly. US yields up high on the day. Right, so we're squeezing back We are technically bearish on these yields still. We broke this structural point. We came onto the backside. This is the 10-year backside of this bullish trend. So perhaps we're coming up to new lower. 2 years less reactive, um, less bearish. So more, meanwhile, supportive of the dollar at the moment. Technically, we're still in a bullish trend on the 2 year because we have not broken any significant lows. We came up, came down, but we didn't break any structure below here. So just keeping an eye on these twos as well. So the US dollar, just recall in the US dollar, we've got a W formation here on the weekly chart. W formation, prospects of a move into the neckline. So we're still bearish on the dollar for this week. We're looking for a bearish close. So essentially we're looking to fade rallies on the dollar. So this was Friday, Monday, Tuesday. We're making further downside moves on the day, on the week. Something we talked about yesterday. We've been expecting this continuation, so it should come of no surprise for those attending these meetings. We've talked about this extensively already, and we are coming into potential support. This block here could be a supporting area, so just be wary of that for the day ahead. If you're looking to buy currencies and assets against the US dollar, perhaps we're going to get a pullback in the dollar, especially if these yields continue to rise. So we've broken old support here, which now we can regard as resistance. So perhaps any pullbacks, as I said, could be a fade on rallies to continue lower. So if the Dixie pulls back, then we've got resistance here. So just keep that in mind. So sell off, pull back, continuation to the downside, perhaps. Okay. So that's the dollar. Any questions so far, guys? While we market too predictable, fall soon. In what market? Market too predictable. Which one in particular? Or in general, are we talking about? Short dollar. Well, as I said, I mean, we're moving into a potential support area. So that could well act as a magnet, but I'd be cautious selling it because we're coming into demand, and at demand we could find uh, a correction in this move back to the upside. And then what I'll be looking to do is selling rallies from resistance high up. How much further can euro yen go? Euro yen, well, it's coming up into a resistance area. It's in the resistance area. All of this is resistance area. So there are prospects of a move into this high here. Um, the euro, if we look at the euro is taking on resistance, strong move. This has prospects of a continuation up into the 20s. So we're meeting a 61.8. So just be aware of that. We're meeting a 61.8. This could be resistance here. So Zeb, I mean the euro yen. I mean got to look at dollar yen as well. What do I have dollar yen? Inside day. So dollar yen. It's taking stops out on both sides of yesterday's range. On a 1 hour chart. Rallied, strong pullback. Yeah, I guess so it's mainly the euro then that we're looking at. The dollar yen's too choppy, but the euro, I mean, it could quite easily move up. I don't think that. I mean, well, who knows? But it'd be unusual for this just to run up and up and up and up and up all day long. So we've got a rally here that's going to be met with resistance at some point, whether it's here because it's met the 61.8, or if not, then I'd expect to find much stronger resistance slightly higher up in the 20s and potentially as high up as the 78.6. But at some point, we're going to see a correction. Now, we've got an hour until the Wall Street Open. If we keep pumping like this, you'd expect the Wall Street Open to be aggressive sellers. So that's just something to bear in mind. Right, we've got this data that's coming out. So fairly bullish for the Canadian dollar. So we've come into this demand area on the back of this. To the 5 minute chart. So pop lower. Remember, we're looking for deceleration. I'm not concerned about the data. The data, fine, is a catalyst for the knee jerk move, but I'm more concerned about the technical. So perhaps we already were front running this data, and we're going to see a sell the rumor, buy the fact scenario, the levels. So just as a reminder, we were in anticipation of the market coming into this demand area, and we're going to be looking for signs of deceleration of this move. So I'm not trading that data. As always, you just sit back, let it do its thing on the charts, give it around 15 minutes, and you'll have a better picture of where the opportunity might be. Okay, so we'll come back to that in 10 minutes or so and just see how things have panned out and whether there's going to be a trading opportunity for the day ahead. On the day itself, looking at the Canadian dollar, so what we've seen on the day, so this was Asia. So this in here was Asia. So we opened over here. Well, we closed over here on Monday. We dropped. We've moved up. Asia. Then we dropped out of the Asian lows in London, Frankfurt opening. And we've continued to slide in New York. So we've got all of that's short to move up into potentially for the day ahead. So for me, I'm going to be looking to buy low and for a long short squeeze. But there's nothing to do until the price moves to the other side of that bearish trend. So make that red for bearish trend. So until, like I said, until we see a deceleration of this move, where we'll be looking on lower time frames for this potentially to be the low of the day. And then we're looking at structure. So that high there. Looking for a break in structure. So accumulation. And at that point, we can start. I mean, as it stands at the moment, I mean, that's not to say that we can't have lower lows. Of course we can. But at the moment, looking for a break of 134.13 and then prospects of a bullish structure for us to lean against to go long. Okay, how come yields are up and the Dixie is down? So we've got a bit of a disjointed market. There's volatility. There's maybe some news that I haven't spotted. Let's have a look. Just having a scout round. Let's have a look at these yields. What's the dollar doing then? So the dollar is actually playing catch up. So, you can use these yields as a lead. As I said at the beginning of the meeting, looking for the dollar to catch up with the move in yields. And we're getting that now. So okay, so dollar starting to bottom out there. Bit of a squeeze. Breaking structure in the euro. So we talked about that momentarily, didn't we? About the euro selling off, coming up into the 61.8. So there's your opportunity then for doing something with your euro yen. Let it play out. We've got the short squeeze on. Could be a selling opportunity. Just be wary of getting in too early because this can easily pull back and make a higher high, stop anyone out that's got their stops above. Right, we've still got structure really. I mean, you've got a change in character, but you've got potential support over here. We're digging into it. So we're getting some early moves, potentially setting us up for the day. Gold. Well, we've already had the short squeeze that we were looking for, the long squeeze rather. I'm not too excited about prospects of gold at the moment. Just given that it's pretty wicky up in here. A break below support opens risk of a counter trend. I actually did a video, if you guys want to check it out, it's in the group on oil and gold. It's in the group chat. Someone asked about it before the meeting. So there's a video on it there. I'm not going to go into it here, but essentially we're in resistance, and I think I was talking about the sell-off. So we're starting to see that already. So go and check that video out. It's in the community. Well, I can put it here if you like. 1 minute. There it is there. I've just put it into the chat for you guys. Right, so potentially looking for shorts in gold, but it's got support structure to get through on the downside yet. In here. Right, any other pairs, guys, you want me to look at? We can look at the indexes. We've got, so we're getting a dump here. Right, so the indexes, yesterday we closed green. So I'm noting here, my annotations, that we hit stops below these lows yesterday. So Friday's stops were hit. We've come up, taking stops out on this side as well, but we've got stops above here. Now, yesterday closed up, so we're looking to buy low. So I'm glad that we're seeing a sell-off because I want to get long of this market in the Wall Street Open. Same with NAS, same with the Dow Jones, US 30. All right, we got a bit unlucky yesterday with the Dow. Well, made a bit of money on it, but no cigar. So maybe we'll get another opportunity to go long today. Yeah, I can look at euro again. So the euro has come back into support. We talked about this. It's come into support and it's dumping and so be it. So it's coming into a 38.2. It's quite a strong move. Perhaps we'll get a build up into demand for a going long again. But this was well telegraphed. So no surprises here, guys. This was a impulse and correction. Let's have a look at this Canadian dollar. All right, so it's starting to show signs of deceleration, isn't it? Still, the line in the sand is 134.13. It's coming up into this potential resistance zone. Could easily roll over and continue lower. Impulse correction, downside continuation, perhaps. Or we're going to just come up and test resistance and peter out, and then potentially provide a opportunity to go long. Yes, you with the 10-year rallying, you'd expect dollar yen to find support. Yeah. As it is, finding support. So we're getting these nice strong moves ahead of the Wall Street Open, which we can look to counter trend if we get the opportunities and setups. So we're coming up into potential 5-minute resistance. We've got a W formation being printed, which is bearish. Bearish in the sense that it can pull back into the neckline. So it sort of acts as like a magnet, gravity. So just be wary of that. We can break resistance, but I'd be looking for the pullback given the W formation. It is a bottoming pattern, don't get me wrong, so it can come up, pull back, and then continue higher. But for our New York trading session, it's worth noting, because if we get a break of resistance, so these highs over here, then I'll be looking to fade the rally, given we've got the W formation for a pullback. Any other pairs, guys? We can look at the crosses. Sterling yen, for instance. Nice and high. Prospects of a pullback. Right, so rally. Are we setting up for a short for the day? Potentially. So we've got the M formation as a topping pattern. Breaking out. All right, so we've broken out. Could have been a good short opportunity here, given the engulfment of that bar. But bearing in mind that we've got plenty of support structures along the way. Maybe we're setting up for a short for the Wall Street Open. Perhaps we're going to get a pullback into this topping pattern for the short later on in the session for an explosive move. But it does look like the market is giving us nice volatility for today. So maybe we can get some strong, fast moves. Right, we can actually put this on our watch list for a potential long squeeze. Gold, we've already had the long squeeze, so that's already started to play out. But it's started to break structure over here. Interesting. Dropping pretty significantly. So break of structure, move up for a continuation to the downside, perhaps out of resistance on gold. Yeah, so we're looking at sterling yen, and yes, I'd say so. Um, on the longer term picture, longer term, we are in a monthly resistance area. Got a strong rally here. Probably needs to correct. So I'd be happy looking for shorts, bias to the downside. We've broken structure over here. I mean, this rally, this corrective behavior is coming up into what would be regarded as a resistance area. So looking for shorts, oops, in my mind is the right way to go at the moment. So we've got bearish impulse, bullish correction up into a resistance area. Got this level here as well on the 4 hour chart. W formation on the 4 hour chart as well, which is a bearish feature for the time being. Pull back into the neckline over here. So just monitoring this for a deceleration. Draw the Fibonacci on the high. So the 50% mean retracement comes in at 183.10 as a downside target. So looking to sell, wondering, I mean, I'd like to see it come back up into and up into here, up into the 40s. I might just shoot down and it's a missed opportunity, but I'd rather sell high. I don't want to chase the breakout. I'd rather see the breakout, see it come back up, and then get an opportunity to sell at a better price. Yeah, exactly. That's well. See, what I like to do is I start from a top-down analysis. So I was just giving you a top-down analysis there to show you how we're arriving at a bearish scenario for the day ahead. All right, guys. So I'm going to leave it there. I've got 30 minutes or so until the open. I want to get my head into these charts and see what opportunities there are for the open on Wall Street, and we will continue in the chat room. All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate all as usual, and speak to you very shortly.